GangRadio.com. Take over. Last mission. Final boss mode.
On to our next topic, the previews. And of course, the biggest card this weekend comes from Premier Boxing Champions on Fox. They are actually offering a pay-per-view of some sort. And the pay-per-view is none other than former heavyweight champion Andy Ruiz, which is still odd to say he's actually a heavyweight champion, facing Chris Arreola. Now, obviously, when all of us heard this fight, we were just like, get the fuck out of here, really. This was even before they even put the pay-per-view shit. It was like, why? Especially me, I was like, why? Why does Ruiz have to face Arreola? Now, obviously, the Mexican contingent will be like, yeah, two Mexican heavyweights slugging it out. That would have been attractive, I don't know, maybe 8 years ago, give or take.
Facts. Or at least with a real world title on the line.
Exactly, or back in, because 2013, I think, was like the last time that Ariel actually scored like a notable victory over someone in the heavyweight division. The aforementioned Seth Mitchell win. And it's actually sad to say that's actually probably one of his top 3 wins at heavyweight. So, and then after that, he's been spotty as fuck, because he's had conditioning issues. He's had some bad beatings from the Stavern fights were both bad beatings. The Wilder fight, Wilder was actually styling on dude legitimately. And then, God forbid, the Curtis Harper fight. Good Lord.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, dude, damn near he should have lost that fight, and then the Travis Kaufman fight. So he's been a big disappointment throughout the years, but Al loves him. Al loves that guy, so he keeps him around. He gets him his paydays, and of course now obviously, and the reason why he probably got this fight is because everyone remembers the Kanaki fight. The Kanaki fight, it broke the heavyweight punch record, and it was punch fuckery. To put it lightly, it was ridiculous punch fuckery. And what happened was Kanaki got hit so hard and so many times that he actually got laid out in his next fight because they fucked around with his fight trajectory. So that's why Ariel's probably getting this fight. And then we have Ruiz, who I'm a fan of. Make no secret, I am a fan of Ruiz. I was a fan of Ruiz back in the days when he was on the TR undercards for the Pacquiao pay-per-views and shit like that. But the one thing I always harped on about was the fact he'd come in big. And the funny thing is though, even though he came in big, he didn't fight like he was sloppy. Dude had fast hands and he could punch. Dude clearly had skill. He had a lot of skill. And then of course has the Parker win. The Parker one, which the Parker fight, which I thought he should have won. But he did kind of run out of gas. But it was a close fight. And then after that, Top Rank then didn't know what to really do with him. And then eventually PBC bought out his contract. And PBC didn't really have anything to do with him other than the Dimitrenko fight. And then he gets his shot at the heavyweight title because the former Big Baby Miller, the Big PED Miller, He took a whole bunch of super serum and tested his way out of the fight, and then he scores an upset. Goes into the rematch against Joshua, and he's 300 pounds because, as LB we said offline, he showed the desire in everything except going to the gym. So, he
so fat ass.
So yeah, he was 300 pounds or whatever, give or take, and he pretty much got jabbed up, for 11 out of the 12 rounds and lost his belts in humiliating fashion. So he hasn't fought since. So now, Ruiz, and fun things too, his trainer, Manny Robles, got on his case about that shit, but he didn't want to hear nothing about that shit. Once he got that money, bruh, indulged and everything, the cars, the parties. I saw them pictures of them wild ass parties he was throwing. The jewelry, like dude was dripping with jewelry and shit. Like
the food.
And food, yes, the food.
Every time I turn around, he had some new type of pizza or
they were talking about
Snickers
or Oreos or some shit like that. You know, I think he was trying to get a Snickers endorsement.
But you really gotta like food like that, cause me personally, like if you, whenever I had like access to a gym and just was able to train like, you know, like at least 3 to 4 times a week.
Yeah.
You don't want to eat all that junk food, man.
No, you don't. But I think
and I'm a nigga who kind of like, you know, little sweets and shit, but you limited to like once a week type shit. But that nigga was doing a food tour, yo.
Yeah, and he was, and he got just bigger. And the funny thing too is like when he showed the pictures of him training for this Joshua rematch, like you know, he was using them angles like them fat chicks to be using in, you know, like on Tinder or some shit like
MySpace angles.
Yeah, MySpace angles. Yeah, like, you know, dude be taking pictures like a straight thought. You know, okay, yeah, you see me, my stomach is sucking in. I am addicted. Or you do that weird cross arm with the thumbs up. Just like, you know, someone in his camp was working.
You trying to steal Oscar De La Hoya's swag? It's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah, dude was on some straight Photoshop shit, and then you see him like, you know, dude's over there just and it hurt to like say because I am a fan of Ruiz though, but it's just like all this shit, like, you know, everything that, you know, people were saying like, oh, he's gonna eat himself out of the belt, and then you go ahead and you do that shit. To me, that's significant mental health issues than what fucking Ryan Garcia's going through. Like, what the fuck? Yeah,
no. What about the mental health problems they put on? Well, what's his trainer name? Manny Robles?
Manny Robles, yeah.
Yeah. What about how was his mental health during the betrayal of Andy Ruiz?
Yeah, and it's funny, yeah, Robles, you know, Robles was telling him shit, it's like, yo, you gotta take this shit seriously, like, yo, this ain't no walk in the park, like, and he didn't want to hear nothing about it. He didn't want to train hard, he didn't want to train at all. You know, and then, you know,
shout out to Joshua O. The public reception for Garcia's mental health excuse would be totally different if it was someone like AB or Tank. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
Yeah, you know, I mean, yeah, the WBC won't be like, or WBA won't be like, hey, you know, let's say, you know, we need to show consideration for our fighter, you know, and, you know, in this difficult time and help him through it. You know, that type of shit.
Solomon and DeBella were both, you know, cop and please for him, kind of. So yeah.
Yeah, DeBella, what else is new?
No one's making no "We Are the World" remixes for dudes, like.
Yeah. You know, so but yeah, it's just see Andy Ruiz just throw away his titles like that, and with all the talent he has, it was just like it's frustrating. That's why it's just like it was hard being a fan of his because he can clearly fight. Like if you see Andy Ruiz, Andy Ruiz has absolute skill. He has skill. He can throw hands. He can punch. You know, like I mean, nothing. I mean, he doesn't have a lot of weaknesses in fight except his conditioning. His conditioning let him down in his 2 losses.
And you know, footwork is a problem. But
so
when you lose weight, you know, that improves.
Yeah, I mean, dude is a monster on the inside. Like you don't want to infight Andy Ruiz. I mean,
his hands are super fast. It's crazy.
Yeah, super fast, and he knows how to pull down guards. He'll let a whole bunch of combinations to your body and head. Like, dude, and he has fast hands for a big guy. So it's just like, you know, he has all these attributes, but it saddens me. And now, I mean, he's put in this fight, and truthfully, I don't even want to see him in an Arreola fight. Like personally, like. His loss to Joshua wasn't a fight where he got, you know, it wasn't the type of fight where he got. I mean, he just got outboxed. Like it wasn't the fight, you know. So like fight Arreola, what's that gonna prove? Like seriously,
not a damn thing.
And especially it took all this time to get the fight with Arreola. I feel like they've been talking about the Arreola fight for like years or some shit.
Yeah, and I was hoping that they were kidding. You know what I'm saying? Like I wanted
the more they talked about it, the worse it got. It was like, okay, Fox.
Yeah.
And then, you know.
What? I mean, you should put him in the ring with Charles Martin or even fucking Robert Helenius. He actually has some momentum behind him, like somebody of that level, instead of Chris Arreola, who's battered beyond belief right now. Like, you know, it's just
We
like
got the Kalnaki stimulus.
yeah, it's kind of stimulus. You know what I'm saying? So here we are.
Exactly. Hey, yo, Joshua O again with it. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Kalnaki fucked up losing to Hellenius. He should be facing Ruiz instead of Arreola. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's just like
That's facts.
Yeah, just like Kaneki shouldn't have not fought Arreola. He should have fought Charles Martin in a rematch. You know, but this the matchmaking kind of. I mean, the matchmaking kind of let him down because Kaneki got absorbed 300 punches from Chris Arreola. Imagine a faded Chris Arreola landing 300 power punches on your chin. Like seriously.
For a whole 12 rounds.
For 12 rounds. Yeah. I mean, Kaneki might actually be legit ruined. Because you can't let heavyweight hit you 300 fucking times.
I don't care. Some of them are arm punches. I don't care if, dudes aren't snapping every shot. It's just the repetition of it. And Chris Arreola has heavy hands.
Absolutely.
That's what makes Ruiz a disappointment sometimes before the resurgence that he's going through now. Because Chris Arreola already served as a OG reminder. Like, you saw his career play out the way it did, and it's like, why are you trying to follow in his footsteps?
Mm-hmm.
The irony in all this is, if Ruiz would absolutely get upset by Arreola, if Arreola landed some crazy shot and knocked Ruiz out, that would be the super irony in all of this. That'd just be crazy.
And truthfully, that's what I fear that's a legit possibility, and that's the reason why. I mean, that's another reason why I'm not really for this fight, because of the fact because like lightning can sometimes strike twice, and you
and it's that karma too. Just imagine that all that shit you put on your coach through, and then you go and you lose to Arreola at this stage of the game.
Yeah, most people already see Ruiz as as one of the top heavyweights, along with Wilder and Joshua, and probably White too at this point. Maybe Ortiz if you really think that.
Yeah, you got Levi's. And honestly, there's been too many upsets in boxing where it's like you can't really take anybody for granted now.
Yeah, exactly. And the fun thing is too is like I've seen pictures of both of them now. I mean, Ruiz has lost like 30 pounds. He's coming in at 255. It's good for him. Like he should be coming in. I mean, personally, he should probably lose 20 more pounds. But hey, a start is a start. And Chris Arreola actually looks like he's actually dropped a lot of weight too.
Yeah.
So I mean, like the
the irony of this, the battle of the two fat Mexican heavyweights that aren't coming in fat.
Oh shit.
Well, I think it'd be a good fight, and for how long it lasts, though. That's the thing. Like, looking at this whole card, it seems like, you recognize names. None of the matchups really move me, but for some reason, PBC seems to put on good cards when that's the case. So. I mean, I was definitely gonna touch upon that. I mean, sometimes it's cards like this. PBC sometimes gets these, like the Tony Harrison Perella fight. Perella card. Like, who knew that card would be entertaining like it was before? And we didn't even do a preview for that shit.
Yeah, you know what it was. A toaster leaving.
Yeah,
you don't look forward to toaster leaving. You just, if they end up satisfying you, you just kind of happy about it, and you just move on. Like, somebody had like cinnamon toast in there that day, or cinnamon raisin toast. I don't know, a Pop-Tart. Little corner broke off in that bitch.
Yeah, and it was more, and it was a lot better than it should have been. And yes, this card does have that potential. But before we get into that undercard, so what are we thinking, fellas, in terms of how do we think Ruiz and Arreola is going to go?
Yeah, y'all got the floor, gentlemen.
Unfortunately, I think we're gonna get the shock worn nipples, and yeah, I think I think Ruiz is gonna stop him.
Yeah.
What round?
7.
Damn, you think he's going that long?
Yeah.
I mean, Arreola, for all his faults, I mean, he's never been really stopped early like that.
Hold on, didn't Sterling stop him early in the second fight?
I think it was either 6 or 7. Let's take a quick look on BoxRec. It is 6. There we go.
206.
Yeah.
And what was the first fight?
It went to distance.
This is okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
6
one.
rounds, okay.
Yeah, that first. Honestly, that first Devert Arreola fight was a gem. Yeah, because that was a war.
That's a forgotten fade.
That's a real forgotten fade. You know, what I'm
Pat
saying?
Scorpio. No exclusive.
Yes, sir. You know, so yeah, I mean, at least, I mean, if Ruiz put Arreola, honestly, if Ruiz put Arreola away early, it'd be me like, you know, Arreola's probably just absorbed too much punishment because he hasn't fought since the punch fuckery with Kanaki anyway. So, and he's 38 or 39.
Damn.
Oh, he's 40. No, he's 40. He's 40. So, I mean, if he goes, I mean, it'll be that time. So, I mean, I'm thinking Ruiz because I like Ruiz should get him out of there by 5.
4.
Pilot.
I say, I mean, I'm thinking it might be maybe a decision for Ruiz, but I'll just say 8. I'll say he'll get Arreola an 8.
You know, if this fight goes to a decision, it's either
Something
punch
went horribly
fuckery.
wrong.
Yeah, something went totally wrong. Either it's punch fuckery, or these two really decided they wanted to be on some boxing shit.
Yeah.
Nah, no. You're not gonna have no boxing shit like that. Those two fighters after we just had a damn Puerto Rican parade and kissing me down here. And I had a motherfucking Berlanga fight. Nah, they're not gonna make him. You know the boos that you're gonna hear if they start slow prom dancing and shit.
Yeah, no. I mean, especially on the card like this. Like this is a Mexican card. I think this is, you know, like they're not fucking around, you know. So I mean, yeah, just to get onto the undercard, I think the co-main of this fight is Omar Figueroa versus Abel Ramos. Now, that fight, I'm not.
The lesser Figueroa. Ugh.
Yeah, it's sad.
You said Omar?
At this rate, he's the lesser Figueroa.
Damn, yeah, you right. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
Figueroa versus Ramos.
Yeah,
Ramos.
no, and I mean that fight that could be depending.
That
if
got potential though.
Yeah, but it depends if Omar actually makes weight because you know Omar's had some issues with making weight and a bunch of other fuckery he's been getting into.
Yeah.
You know, Abel Ramos can punch, so I mean, I'd say if there was an upset alert, it would be in that fight. You know, but
Who's the favorite though?
I don't know. I have not actually taken a look at the odds of anything on the undercard yet, other than Ruiz Arreola.
Well, the previous Figueroa being the slight favorite, I would just assume, but
Yeah, but
Oh,
like,
wait, Abel Ramos?
no, I'm
Yeah.
talking about. Who you pick? You think Ramos?
No, wait, hold on. Who's Omar fighting?
Abel Ramos.
Ruiz Ramos.
Yeah.
Abel Ramos.
Yeah, he lost to Ugas
They
recently.
both lost to Ugas, right? Didn't they?
Love lost to Ugas.
They both
That
lost
was
to
him
Ugas.
who fought.
Both the last fight. Oh, man.
He lost the decision to Ugas, right?
Yeah.
In his
Okay,
last
right,
fight.
I remember.
Yeah, I mean, they both lost to Ugas.
You know what it was? I was thinking about his nephew.
Yeah, his nephew's actually fighting on the card too as well.
Cause I was like, I don't know what. I thought it was a nephew because I was like, damn, if it's a nephew gonna put his foot in his ass and like.
Yeah, his nephew will probably put. His nephew's like the heavier hands though, but he's actually on here too. He's facing Javier Molina, whose biggest victory to date was upsetting Amir Imam, one of the undercards. I think was it Top Rank? I think it's Top Rank. You know, and then he got beat up by who did he get beat up by again? He got beat up by someone. I'm just trying to remember who.
Pedraza.
There we go. Yeah. Pedraza put his foot in his ass after that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he beat his ass. Yeah, he beat his ass.
You know, so I mean that could be. I mean that's the opener. I mean that could be an interesting fight, But I'm not. But I'm not a fan of the Fundora versus Jorge Cota fight at all. Like
No, that's trash.
Yeah, I don't think anybody's a fan of that fight.
Yeah, like I mean, I don't want to see. Yeah, it might be punch
Y'all
fuckery.
could have just left that body alone. Y'all just had to damn necessitate him.
Take him back up just to bury him again.
Yeah.
This time upside down with his bones scattered. 'Cause it's like I don't know like how you bring him back to life from that Charlo KO. Thank you, JNAD.
I'm saying, let that dude's head get sent into orbit.
Yeah, I ain't trying to clown, dude. I don't like this. It just sounds like a bad situation, man.
And the fun thing is like Jorge. I mean, fun thing is like I can't remember. I mean, he wins fight. He could win fights, but we just never see him winning a significant fight. Like he's 30-4 with 20.
Yeah, well, he should have gotten the win against Rosario, but he got the short end of the stick there.
Yeah, he lost his decision. But all his other losses,
They knew who they was trying to push. That's all that was.
Yeah. But all his other losses, all chaos to Marco Antonio Rubio, which was probably bad matchmaking. Lubin, Carlo.
I mean, like, are you going to win these fights or is it bad matchmaking? Like, which is?
I mean,
at what point did this like, are we gonna have a Ryan Garcia theme in every fucking segment?
I mean that dude. I mean, Rubio had 60 fights by that time, so it was probably not. That was not really. It was really a good time for him to face someone like Rubio. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Rubio could punch though too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Rubio will punch your fucking head off. Yeah, he was 16-0 when he fought him. So that I mean, you learn from shit like that.
Yeah, damn. Wow. Okay.
So
I don't even think he should have been over his head like that in that fight. Still, though.
Oh man, but I mean, like I said, just like Pilot said, I mean, this is one of those fights where it could, on paper it's whatever, but it could develop into something like it could. I mean, there's potential fades on there, like serious fades on every one of these fights, and punch fuckery, all that. So now, is it worth $50 to watch?
Nope.
Hell no.
Yeah.
No.
Honestly, I think it's like a $20 card.
Yeah, like if it was on Showtime, like I'd probably bitch about it less. I'd just be like, hey, Showtime,
Or regular Fox.
Yeah, or regular Fox. At least regular Fox, you'd have
This would have been a good card for regular Fox, and you could have really promoted the hell out of this.
Yeah, but there's no reason, why this fight should have been pay-per-view. Like Ruiz is
like they super pandered to the Mexican fan base on this one.
Just ordering it basically, and then they probably will. I mean, the numbers probably won't be out of the world, but maybe they'll recoup whatever they put in.
Well, I mean, it depends. I mean, we just saw. I mean, the Charlo pay-per-view when we did 120,000. So
hold on, did how many?
120,000.
Yeah.
That was a good card too. That's a shame.
Yeah, no, that was a good card. This
it was, but it still wasn't a pay-per-view card.
Yeah. So this, I think of this card as even less than than that pay-per-view card. So it's, if they actually recoup, I'll be surprised.
So that damn that Charlo card is too damn long anyway. You could have just gave us all at one location at one time and trimmed off one of the mid fights or some shit.
Well, all of them weren't really mid. I mean, they weren't mid on paper. Just two.
They weren't. But you could have made better fights though. Then that's the case.
I mean, all the fights on paper. I mean, I remember because because me, I criticize PBC if something doesn't if something displeases me. But I praised that card. It just happened to.
It was good, but it's not a pay-per-view level card. You remember that tweet where they said, I forgot the person who said it, but they're saying basically Triller $50 for that Jake Paul card, and you had all that fuckery and shit going on,
Yeah.
and now you get this card, and it's like a damn Telemundo card on steroids. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, you absolutely right though. I mean, but like I say, I guess we'll know by Saturday how it's gonna play. We get fades or we get like super bloody fades or some shit like that, like bloodbaths.
You gonna get fades like that. I mean, that's really the novelty of it. The selling point is you gonna get fades.
Yeah,
may not be the best ones, you know.
Yeah,
might be a little great value. You know, might be some steakums mixed in with a cube steak. It'd be like one of those damn hot dogs where they got like chicken, pork, turkey. Like it's all just. It's like the worst part of everything to the hot dog.
You're right though. So. Obviously, because we'll tune in to watch it, obviously, because it will be the only card playing that night. Although there is another card, but luckily that's an afternoon card.